Morning, hope you're well. Just a quick video from me. I just wanted to do my first live video where we're not actually training, which is pretty cool. So what I wanted to talk about today, February the 1st, perhaps a lot of people's New Year's resolutions have gone to the back of their mind. Maybe some of them have still stayed there, but I wanted to just kind of talk a little bit about something that's sprung to my attention in the terms of goal setting and having an eye on the bigger picture. For those of you who watched the little clips from our open day on Sunday, you'll know that Dax and I talked about the difference between transformation and change. So I'm going to go into that a little bit in this video. But if we just look specifically at why people actually go off track. So if we said, right, we're going to do a 4-week program, or it's going to be a 12-week program. What you'll see in the first couple of weeks is everybody goes really, really well as the sun comes in. Brilliant. 2 seconds. Hasn't been out all morning. And now it's right in there. Let's try that. So what you'll notice the first couple of weeks, everything's all guns blazing. Everybody feels great. They really want to go for it. That's pretty much the reason why I didn't really let many people start with us in January. I had very specific conversations with people before Christmas about starting with us to actually make sure that those things didn't happen. So the first 2 weeks that happens. Let's just say this is a 12-week program. Next 10 weeks, these are the reasons why, right? So we make bad decisions when we get hungry, we get angry, we get lonely, or we're tired, or perhaps we get injured or ill. Okay, so having a bit of a focus on the bigger picture. So in terms of, so we've got people doing marathons. Hi Dave, hi Di, Di being one of them. We've got people doing, competitions later in the season, later in the year. We've got, this is outside of those people that it's already become a lifestyle change for them. So hungry, angry, lonely, tired, injured or ill. So halty. Okay, they're the main reasons. So when you get in that situation and you sort of consider that you're about to make a sort of a spontaneous and reactive decision, then it's at that point you need to kind of step back and think a little bit more about the bigger picture. And that's why those people who have the bigger picture in mind appear to stay on track. Some people have said to me before, and I'm definitely no saint when it comes to, sometimes I'll miss a training session, like last week. Some people will say understandably, but actually, it did frustrate me a little bit. I had to miss a few sessions. How do you stay on track? It's always the bigger picture, okay? So it's never striving to be perfect, but we're just trying to be excellent. So those people who can get a handle on that will be the ones that from the outside look to you like they're always on track, okay? They're no different to you, but they're just focusing on the bigger picture. That's why I think January goals are dangerous. It's a good time, I get it, for people to set goals because it's a fresh start, and I understand that. But I think that February is the month, if I'm honest, where I've seen it previously. People shine. People come through. Those who make it through January will shine, and those who just couldn't do it in January are now in that better position. So my advice really kind of goes along the lines of, setting a deadline. So give yourself some goals. Don't count down the days, because we've discussed that at the weekend, that that's not necessarily the best way to do things either. So, but by doing things that you enjoy and enjoying the process, surrounding yourself with people who actually support you and move you forward. So that's a good point, really. At the same time, if you're trying to achieve something, you've got people holding you back. You need to think about getting them off. Okay, getting them off your bus. Okay, so those people, if they're around you too often, okay, see less of them. Speak less to them, okay, if they're people that kind of drag you down. Spend more time with people who kind of support your dreams and support what it is you want. And actually, just dare to dream. Set yourself goals that you think, wow, I'd love to do that. I've got a couple of ladies going to do Tough Mudder this year, way outside their comfort zone this time last year. Do things that create an experience as well. And through experience, you'll realise that during your goal setting, there will be days where you feel, this is all too much. And my advice to you at that point is, again, something that we discussed at the weekend. this notion of kind of going around the mountain rather than over it. Some days you'll get up in the morning, you'll think, right, today's gonna have it, and quite often it's after you finish training you feel like that. So if you train in the mornings, you're gonna feel like that. Other days you just got to go around the mountain. You're gonna end up in the same place, but we're not gonna try and go full bore straight over the top. Something that Dax actually talked to me about at the weekend. I really like that. So thinking about on those days, right, today's not a day where I'm going to make massive strides forward. It's going to be a day where I just chip away, do the things I can do, things that are sort of in my control, and we're going to just move, take a little step round the mountain, okay? And ultimately doing more of the stuff that makes you feel good, okay? So if you really hate going running, why would you go running to get yourself fit, okay? Makes absolutely no sense. Don't get me wrong, there are certain exercises that are particularly good for us in terms of the way that we move, and certain things that we eat that are particularly good for us. But on the whole, why would you keep doing things that don't make you feel great? So I think accepting that along the way you're going to be doing things that you don't enjoy, but generally speaking, you need to be setting yourself up and doing bits and pieces that you do enjoy most days. So I think I didn't want to make this a really long video because I find these sorts of things people take little snippets away from and they'll put it into their own situation. But at the same time, I think it'd almost be unethical if I didn't offer you the opportunity. If you're somebody who wants to get in shape and somebody who wants to move forwards with your with your health and you feel you need help, I'm looking really to take on between 6 and 10 new clients in the next 4 to 5 days, who really want to move forwards with their health and fitness, currently struggling to get started. Perhaps the January goal thing didn't work for them, but I'm looking for people who want a transformation. I'm not really interested in help. I'm interested in helping everybody, but what we need to establish is that it's transformation, not change. I'm looking to help people who kind of want to move forward with their life. Like, I'm happy to educate you on how to change your first breakfast on Monday morning, but ultimately it's about creating a transformation in habits. And this is what I see the most successful people on our programs, and some of those people have been with us for like 7 years. Okay, they're the ones who've made choices, okay, because we all have choices. They've made choices around their lifestyle that are now helping them, and they continue and they just do all sorts of stuff that I'm sure they didn't comprehend they would be doing, however long ago it was. So, doing different challenges, etc. So I'm looking for 6 to 10 people who either want to join our Blast Fitness Camps program or our online program. So the Blast Fitness Camps program is it's going to be a 12-week program, and I can give you more specific details on times and venues around that. Or our Blast Online program, which is a 9-week program, and I can obviously give you more information on that if you so wish at another time. But don't be afraid to get in contact and ask for help. So that's where we're at. So just want you to remember, just quick recap, HALT, so the HALT thing. So remember that you are likely to make bad decisions when you are hungry, angry, lonely, tired, and injured or ill, okay? So step back at that point, a couple of deep breaths, acknowledge the fact that today's maybe not the day you're going to go over the mountain, you're going to go around it, you're still going to make it, okay? You just need to rein yourself in. If you have set January goals and you're on target, fantastic, well done. If you haven't, you're probably in the majority. You need to just rethink a little bit, maybe think about the notion of transformation versus change. Set yourself a deadline, but without counting down the days. So that deadline needs to be, the journey towards that deadline needs to be exciting. And I'll be the first one to admit that, like, my journey towards opening our studio at the weekend, on the whole, was absolutely brilliant. I learned an awful lot. I learned stuff I don't even know about, but I also wanted to, thank you, Sammy. That's really cool. I'm really pleased to see that. That's fantastic. But I'm also really pleased and I'm really happy to acknowledge that there were times during that where I was really, really stressed. And Joe, and people really close to me know about that. I didn't talk an awful lot about it at the time. I had this kind of overwhelming feeling that I was invincible. I could do whatever I wanted, and that was far from the truth. And it was a good lesson for me, actually, in that. So, in terms of stress levels, just being aware of the sorts of things that are going on around you and having great people is absolutely key to managing no stress. Enjoy the process, and try and do more stuff that makes you feel good. All right, so that's kind of a recap on the video. And like I said, if you are watching this video and you think, right, you know, and you've seen the results that we get in terms of the body composition changes and that sort of stuff, and that's all the visual stuff, but the real key stuff is the transformations in lifestyle, and that's why I want to help people. You know, we do run shorter programs, but I'm really interested in helping people, you know, in making a transformation. Those people who want to make a transformation in their life. You know, you might not be in a really dark place, but you might be just creeping back towards somewhere that you don't like. You might be in a place where you think, right, I'm ready now. I'm ready to get started. All right, so that's the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Any questions, pop them below. I am now going to just have a little chat with a gentleman in New Zealand who we're helping towards a massive goal in July. So I'm going to make sure he's all sorted out for the next 3 or 4 weeks. And then I'm going to be training myself and then a bit of lunch. Have a great day. Cheers.